Alright, hey guys, so I want to talk about one more thing. This is completely unrelated to the other video, by the way. But we're going to talk about exceptions. Now, what an exception is it is a runtime error. So one thing that's kind of cool, and by the way, this is not on the AP test. This is just for fun, but is also useful for helping you debug your programs. And I think it's just a cool thing to know about in general. So what an exception is it's a runtime error that you can cause. So what you can do is you can cause your own program to crash at a certain point in time by using the throw keyword with different types of exceptions. Okay, so let me give you an example of this. So say you have your program, right? And my program is starting by just having a user type in their name. And I have my scanner, I have them type it in. But let's say I want to make sure that the principal of this school is not allowed to use this program. So if someone named Jason tries to run my program, I will sabotage them by immediately crash the program. By immediately crashing the program. So if someone types in the name, so if n dot equals, let's say Jason, then what I'm going to do, and all the respect in the world to Jason Lucero, we're not talking about you, big guy. So if they try and type in Jason, then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to crash my program. So to throw just a normal exception, do this. So you do throw, so notice it's a special word, it lights up. So it's throw new null pointer exception. Okay, and then semicolon, it's actually a class. There's like a null pointer exception class. You're creating a new object of this class, and it just crashes your program. And what this will do is this will stop the program here and give an error message. Okay, so one thing I'm going to point out is the program actually stops and it is done executing. So if I try and continue the program down here, I'm just going to say like the program is continuing. This, I spelled that wrong for sure. This will not print if the exception, let's just make it quicker. This will not print if the exception happens. So if that happens, the program is just over. So let me just show you this. If I run this code and I type in my name, say I type in Wesley, the program just continued on like normal. But if I were to actually type in the name Jason, what you're going to see is it actually crashes, right? It gives me that runtime error that we've seen. We're throwing a runtime error on purpose, and it just says you have a null pointer exception at this point in time. Okay, so that's what's going on there. Now, one thing that's kind of cool also is, let's comment this out, you can have your own runtime errors. So you can create a custom message to show up here. Now this could be useful, right? Because maybe if you're writing a code, you could be like, if there's an error, this variable has a value of 0, and that's going to cause a problem. But if you just want to mess with someone, you can say, okay, I'm going to throw a new null pointer exception. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to put the message in the parentheses. Basically, you're sending the constructor a string. So we can just say, you are a giant chump. Okay. So, and what we'll see here is if you actually go ahead and run your code at this point in time, if you type in Jason, Java and BlueJay will actually display this. Your program will actually call you a chump as an error. So I think that's kind of cool. And again, notice, even if we check in the terminal window, it did not print this out. The program just stopped. It got to this error. The program ended. It told you you're a giant chump, and everything was done. Okay. So I thought that was kind of cool. Again, not super useful, not an AP test, but I think it's useful and will help you test your program. We'll use it occasionally throughout. Okay, and just a heads up, there are other types of exceptions as well. So there are other types of exceptions beyond the null pointer. So you can also use, for example, the array index out of bounds exception. We've seen that a couple times. If your array has a length of 5, you try and access what's in spot 5 or spot 10 or something. There's the arithmetic exception. We've seen that with like dividing by 0. There's something called an illegal state exception. And if you look it up, there are actually several others as well. Those are just some of the more common ones. Anyway, just thought this was cool. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon.